Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm here today to rate each player, to rate the manager, to rate this team. And on the manager, I've written notes so I don't forget. But before we get to the manager and the team, I want to go individually through the players nice and quickly because there's a lot to talk about the main guy in slot. So, starting off with goalkeepers, Alisson Becker injured once again this season. That's not good enough, but is still a very good goalkeeper when he does play. One of the best to ever do it in the Premier League. I'm going to give him a 7.5 because I don't, he's not been awful, Alisson. It's just unreliable when it comes to his injuries. He was meant to be ready for the United game, and we're like 2-3 weeks after that now, and he's still nowhere to be seen. Moving to the right backs, we've had bad luck with the right backs. Conor Bradley got injured. I don't think Conor Bradley's had a wonderful season before that anyway. I'm probably just going to give him a 5 point. I'll give him a 6 because I still remember the Real Madrid game in that, and I think he did great then. So I'll give him a 6. Frimpong, I'm going to give a 5 because injuries as well, and I don't think he's been perfect this season. But then again, we signed a right wing back and we don't play with wing backs. He's not a right back. He's not a right winger. He's a right wing back. And we don't play with that. So I don't know why it was bought if we're not going to play in that system. So we're just not using him to his full potential. Calvin Ramsey, I can't really rate because Slot doesn't rate him at all. But the Crystal Palace game, I'll give him a 6. I thought he was okay on the chance he did get. Centre-back wise, Van Dijk, I'll give... No one deserves over a 7, if I'm going to be honest. There's only 2 people that I'm going to give... Maybe 3 people that I'm going to give over a 7. The rest are getting under a 7. So Van Dijk is going to get just a straight 7 because he hasn't been awful, but he's still not been up to the standards we all know Van Dijk can be at. Konate, I'm going to give a 6. I think for a few months he's good, for a few months he's poor, then he's back being good again, then he's back being poor again. So I'm going to give him a 6. Leone, it was a shame he got injured on his debut. I can't give him more than a 5 because he's been injured. I don't think he was bad on his one game he played though. Joe Gomez, again, unreliable with the amount of injuries he gets. I'll give him a 5.5. Maybe a 6 even. He's not been awful actually, so I'll give him a 6. Any other centre backs that I'm missing? I don't think we are because we don't really have many centre backs as it is anyway. Left back wise, Robertson has done okay. I'll give him a 6.5. Kirkes, I'll also give a 6.5 because I think the left backs haven't been so bad this season, But I'm kind of want to be really brutal with this because the expectations for these players, for this team this season was very, very high, and they've massively underachieved. Moving into the midfield, Gravenberch, not the same player he was last season, but still not awful, but not as good as he can be. So I'll give him a 6. McAllister, I'm going to give a 4.5. I think he's been very, very poor this season. Seems like his legs have gone, and that's a shame because I really like McAllister. The last 2 seasons he was good. This season, just not at it at all. And I would prefer Curtis Jones to start, which he's the person I'm going to rate next, and I'm going to give him a 6.5 because I think he's done quite decent, and I would love to see him stay. I really like Curtis Jones. I really rate him highly, and I would love to see him stay. But again, we're losing another scout, sir, when this man's in charge. Says a lot, doesn't it? Because, Moving on to Szoboszlai, who I think has been our best player. I'm going to give him my man of the season because he has been the best player. And I'm probably going to give him an 8.5 out of 10. He's been good. Not perfection, you know. Still think there's a few games that I would have liked to see more from him. But overall in the season, he's been fantastic. So I'll give him an 8.5. Neone, I can't really rate too much. Again, someone who I think should get more chances, but just hasn't. I'll give him a 6 out of 10 though, because I really rate him. I think he's going to be a fantastic player, and I really hope we keep him, because I think he could be the future for our midfield. Florian Wirtz as well. Hasn't had a perfect season coming in this summer, but I don't think he's been awful. He's definitely not been a flop. It's just the system we play isn't working for him, you know. I think I'm going to give him a 6. Because he can definitely do more. He can definitely do better. You see him for Germany. He's playing fantastic for Germany because he works well in that system. This system, it's not working for him. And he also likes to get used to how physical and how quick this league is, you know. And especially when this team's playing so bad, there's not much he can do. He's created a lot of chances for this team. But if you saw, especially early on this season, no one could finish his chances off. So I'll give him a 6 because I expect even more from him. And I know he's got even more to give for this team. But for now, for this season, I'll give him a 6. Gakpo is a 5 for me. Enough said. I love Gakpo. I've got a shirt with Gakpo's name on it because I like Gakpo a lot. And I thought he was fantastic last season. But this season, he's been okay. Meh, you know. He hasn't done what I know he can definitely do. You know, he hasn't really had much of an impact this season, which is a big shame. Because again, I like Gakpo. But this season just not been it for him. Ruben Gamora, the other guy who will get more than a 7, he's going to get an 8 out of 10. Because every single time he plays, at 17 years old, he is one of the best players for this team this season. He shows more heart, more hunger, more fight, more desire than the majority, the 98% of this team this season. And I absolutely love this guy. He's going to be the future of our attack. And I cannot wait for next season. Mainly because of him. Because I can't wait to see more of him. Because he should have more starts, more minutes next season. And it's going to be exciting for him. Right wingers, Mo Salah. You know it's a big shame when Mo Salah, for the first time, doesn't step up. You know, so many seasons with us. Every season he stepped up. This season not been it. I don't know if it's a mental side for what's happened this summer or last summer with Diogo and that. You know, everyone copes in a different way. I don't know if that's affected him mentally or something. I'm not really going to talk about it because it may have. I don't want to talk about it though. But either way, he hasn't been up to our standards this season. Whether it's aging or mentally or whatever, he doesn't have the pace anymore. He hasn't been up for it this season. Still not done awful, but not the Mo Salah we all know and love. You know, not the exact same Mo Salah. On that basis, I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. Anyone else on the right wing? Chiesa. I love Chiesa, but he just doesn't get the chances really. And people have a go at him saying he's not good and that's why he doesn't get the chances. But how is he meant to do much when he gets 5 or 10 minutes? When he gets to start every 6 months, you know? Of course he's not going to be match fit. Of course he's not going to be perfect when he plays. Because he's going to be rusty. He's always sat on the bench doing nothing, you know? So, of course his form isn't going to be great. He needs more chances and he just hasn't got them. Even with injuries, he's still sat on the bench. Blows my mind how you can play Frimpong right wing and not Chiesa when Frimpong isn't even a right winger. But, you know, that's the tactics of this mastermind. Chiesa, I'll give a 5.5 because he hasn't had the chances. Striker-wise, Isak injured most of the season, hasn't been fit because of the summer he had, not training properly and that. And again, there's not much you can do with injuries and being unfit for all season. So I'm just going to give him a 5. Maybe even, no, I'll give him a 4.5 because he just hasn't been fit. He's hardly played for us, He's hardly done anything for us this season. And then Hugo Ekitike, my guy, Hugo Boss. Love him. He has been fantastic. It is such a shame he got such a devastating injury. For me, Hugo Ekitike, actually, he's another one that gets over a 7 because I didn't know he was going to be so good, 7.5, I'm going to give Hugo Ekitike. And a slot-wise, if I was grading it, it'd be a D for effort. Actually, not even effort. A D for disappointment. Yeah? Because this season, him and this club have been so disappointing. Now we're going to get into the match facts because Arne Slot, for me, gets a 2 out of 10. If that. Spending that much money in the summer, have so many amazing players coming off a Premier League winning season, and he changes his tactics. He changes them to this monstrosity, what we're seeing, this boring, bland football that isn't doing anything for us. We're not challenging on any fronts because the football is awful. And if I get the notes out, for the club, it's getting a 3 out of 10. It's been disgusting this season. 12 losses. Yeah? Less in the Premier League, 12 losses. Less than Bournemouth. They've got 7 losses, Bournemouth. If they didn't draw so much, they would be 5th, we would be 6th. Champions League football wouldn't be with us. And Bournemouth would be getting it. But they've drawn too many games. So that's hurt them. Right? We've got the same amount of losses as 10th place Sunderland and 14th place Leeds. Just reading these out just sounds mental to say after the summer we had, after the players we have in this team, coming off a Premier League winning season. How can you have the same amount of losses than the Premier League promotion team in Leeds? Leeds, 14th place Leeds. The team that's just come up to the Premier League, the same amount of losses than them. And Sunderland, who've also just come up, conceded more, right? We've conceded more goals than Brighton, Chelsea, Brentford, Sunderland, Everton, Fulham, Leeds, Palace and Forest. Just remind you, Nottingham Forest are 16th place. We've conceded more goals than all of them teams. We've conceded 52 goals. In fact, for the first time ever in a 38 Premier League season, we've conceded more than 50 goals. The first time ever in a 38 goal league season. We have conceded more than 50 for the first time ever. We've conceded 52. The current record is, I believe, 55 goals conceded. Conceded 3 to Brentford, and we'll tie the all-time record for most goals conceded for this club. You know how embarrassing that is? 9 losses in 12 we even went this season. Embarrassing. Yeah? Most losses this century. Most losses this century. We have 59 points. The last season and the season before that, 59 points in the Premier League got you 9th place. 59 points. If you finish off with that last season and the season before that, you would be in 9th place. We've spent 500 million. We've just won the Premier League last season, a year ago. You know how bad we are? Reading this rubbish out. Like, the lowest in history for points. Yeah. We have never been under 60 points since 92-93 season. We are under that right now. We are on 59 points. We have never been under 60 since 1993. We have never been under 62 since the 2015 season. Put this all in perspective, yeah? We had 69 points with Nat Phillips and Reece Williams at centre-back. And some people will make an argument saying we've had injuries. Yes, Jurgen Klopp also had injuries. We had to have Henderson, Fabinho at centre-back. We had to have Kabak at centre-back. We had to have Reece Williams and Nat Phillips as our centre-backs. We finished with 69 points. 10 more points than what we have right now. And we finished 4th and got Champions League football by finishing in the top 4. With 0 centre-backs. With Reece Williams and Nat Phillips. That is what Jurgen Klopp could do for us. Slot can't use what he's got. He's too afraid to use what he's got. And he can't adapt. He can't adapt with what he's got. You know? We play boring football. It's not attacking. It's bland. And it doesn't do anything. It doesn't win games, you know? Even with an injury crisis like Klopp had, we'd still play attacking football and we would win games. Even if we lost games, we never wanted Klopp out. You know why we didn't want Klopp out? Because the players would go through brick walls for him. They would fight every single game for him. If we lost, we wouldn't be too heartbroken. Of course it would hurt. We wouldn't be too heartbroken because they left everything on that pitch. They fought no matter what. They fought until their legs fell off for this team, for the badge, for our manager. They don't do that for Slot. No one runs through a brick wall for him. Yeah? The players aren't connected with him. The fans aren't connected with him. And this club is all about passion. All about a connection with the players, with the fans. And we're all feeling distant. And if Hughes and Edwards and FSG can't see that, you know, if they can't see all of this that I've just said, the results, the way we play, the not challenging, and if you can't listen to what the fans want, then what are you doing in this club? You could also leave. If you can't see that getting rid would benefit us, then seriously, what are you doing? Like, I can't grasp how you can let him stay. There's no way he stays, you know. And I don't like being negative, you know. And I would love to be talking about positives in that right now and seeing a way in a world where it works for Slot. I really wanted it to work out for him, but it's not going to. Sorry about that. It's not going to, okay? There's no positives left. I've just read too many negatives. And there's probably a lot more that I couldn't find. If you can't listen to the fans on what they want for this club, because it doesn't matter if you're online fans, it doesn't matter if you're a match-going fan, it doesn't matter if you're from Liverpool, it doesn't matter if you're not from Liverpool. We're all Liverpool fans. We all love this club. We all want to see this club succeed. And right now, there is no way Slot succeeds at this club anymore. The job's got too big for him. He can't handle it. He can't adapt. He doesn't play good football either. He doesn't connect with the fans. He doesn't connect with the players. They're not motivated to fight for him, to run through a brick wall for him like they were with Jurgen Klopp. Yeah? We like a connection. We're not feeling that connection. It's not just to do with the results and that. We don't want him because of the football. We don't want him because he doesn't connect with us. That is why. And these players are not motivated to fight for him. And that's an issue at this club. That's a massive issue. So our voices should be heard, you know. If 96, 97, 98% of this fan base want him gone, they should listen to us. They should look at all this and see that it's not the Liverpool way. They like to talk about it's not the Liverpool way to sack a manager. It's not the Liverpool way to not challenge. It's not the Liverpool way to concede this many, to not even finish in the top 4, to not even challenge for any trophies, to spend that much money and not do anything with it. Have a pathetic season like this. This is not the Liverpool way. It's not the Liverpool way to not play attacking football as well. We are an attacking football team. We are a connected fan base, a family, and we're not feeling any of that. This is why he's got to go. People are distant. Also, if you want financially to succeed, you ain't going to succeed financially because there are a lot of people aren't going to buy merchandise until he's gone. So FSG, the club, even Adidas themselves are going to lose money. They're going to be asking why. You know? You can't risk losing the partnerships like that. You can't risk losing your sponsors like that. FSG definitely can't risk losing the money that they're going to lose. And it's going to happen. The boos are going to stay. The petitions are going to keep going. And it's going to keep on going until he's gone. So, to take stress off yourselves, to help yourselves financially, and especially if you want to see this club fight for trophies and succeed, you have to get rid of him. We need passion back in this club. We need to go into the next season with something positive. We need a passionate manager, someone that the players are going to fight for and connect with, someone that the fans are going to connect with and give time and be patient with, because they understand that it might take time, but they see the work being done. They see the passion. They see the love. They see the fight and desire. And they see the good football. You know? That is what we need at this club. And if you can't see that, you obviously don't belong at this club as well. You know? Hughes and Edwards have to make the right decision. I hope they do. Because keeping him would be the absolute wrong decision. And if they do keep him, I'd like to see them leave immediately. Because they obviously don't care about this club. Don't care about the fans. Don't care about the real Liverpool way. If you really want to keep him. So, let me know what you think. Again, I'm going to give him a 3 out of 10 this season. I really hope I can start talking a bit more positive on this channel. But until then, until they get rid of him, we're going to have to keep being negative because there's no more positives left. We're all drained, you know. And I really hope we give Salah and Robertson a good send-off on the weekend. Make sure as well, if you are subscribed, we're on the road to 100. I would love to see you all following this channel. And we want to create a beautiful community where all voices are heard. You know, we all love this club. We all want to see it succeed. I want all your voices heard, you know. Let's build a good community and a good family on this channel. Please make sure you're following. It'd do wonders for me and I would really, really appreciate it. Until the next video, I'll see you very soon.